What's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I was at my local grocery store and I seen they had some picanha, so I had to grab it. It's one of my favorite cuts of beef. Today I'm gonna throw it on the pellet smoker and I'm bringing you with me, so let's get to it. All right, here goes our picanha or our sirloin cap. And this one, it's in pretty good shape. It's not gonna take very much trimming. Now we wanna keep this fat cap. It's gonna help keep the meat moist and tender. We might trim it just a little bit, but it's actually the right thickness. But like these pieces that's hanging off the end, we'll go ahead and trim those off. And then on the front, it looks really good other than these few little pieces of silver skin. And we definitely want to remove those. So I'm gonna go ahead and start trimming it up just a little bit. Save these little pieces for the dog. Go ahead and trim off this little silver skin that we have here. That's a little fat we got on top. Like I said, this piece of beef is in really good shape. It don't take very much trimming at all on it. So if you look at that fat cap, you can see it's a little thicker on this end than on this side. This side we definitely don't want to touch. I may trim a little bit of this end off. Because again, we need the fat cap, but we don't need that much. And this piece here is kind of hanging out the edge. So I'm kind of get that flush with the beef. And just trim just a little bit of this fat cap off. But that's what makes picanha unique, is that fat cap there. It really gives a lot of flavor to the meat and keep it juicy and tender. But when we cook this, most of it's gonna render down. All right, now that we got it nice and trimmed up, we're gonna go ahead and score this fat cap. So we're gonna cut about halfway through it, but you don't wanna cut all the way through it to the meat. And what this is gonna do is gonna give us a nice crust on it, and it's gonna help bring more flavor inside the actual meat. We're gonna score it both ways. Okay, now we got the fat cap scored. We're gonna go ahead and season this up with some coarse kosher salt. And we're gonna add a little bit of black pepper. Now traditionally, I believe they only add salt, but I'm sure that's pretty good, but it ain't off the chain. So we're gonna add a little bit of pepper on there too. If you want, you can add some garlic powder, onion powder, whatever seasonings you wanna add, but I'm just gonna do a little salt and pepper today, keep it simple. Now don't be scared with this salt. There's plenty of meat there, and a lot of this is gonna render off, especially on this fat cap side. All right, we're gonna go ahead and flip it over. Now we're gonna season up this side with a little bit of salt. And remember, we're gonna make a chimichurri as well, so that's another reason I keep the seasoning nice and simple. All right, now we're gonna add a little bit of freshly cracked black pepper. All right, we got it good and seasoned up, so let's go ahead and get it on the smoker. All right, we got our smoker at 225. We're gonna sit this on there, a fat side towards the middle, thickest side towards the middle. And we're gonna let this go until it's about 115 degrees internal. And then we're gonna go ahead and get a sear on it and bring it up to our designated temperature. Okay, so while our steak is on the smoker, we're gonna go ahead and start on that chimichurri sauce. We're gonna add about a cup or so of fresh parsley. We'll throw in some fresh oregano. If you ain't got fresh oregano, you can use some dried. I'm gonna throw in some red pepper flakes. Ooh, maybe a little bit too much, but it'll be all right. Then I'm gonna add in some red wine vinegar. All right, then we're gonna go in with some, this is about 3 or 4 garlic cloves. Nice pinch of salt. And some freshly cracked black pepper. All right, now we're gonna go in with some olive oil. Then we're gonna go ahead and give this a pulse. All right, so that looks pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and set this aside until our steak get ready. Okay, I just checked the temp and it's now 115 degrees, so we're just gonna let it rest. And I'm gonna bring the grill up to about 450, 500 so we can get a good nice sear on it. Okay, so I got my pellet smoker on the sear setting. It's over 500 and some degrees. After a couple seconds, you see it blazed up, but I went on and removed it away from that flame and let it continue searing. And you just wanna let this continue to sear until you reach the temperature that you're looking for. After you get your temperature, you can go ahead and take it off. So it's been resting about 10, 15 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and give it a slice. Oh, look at the juices running out of it. Real juicy, just the way we like it. So go ahead and cut me a piece off of here. Nice and tender. Beautiful cut of meat. So let's go ahead and give it a taste test. All right, let's see what it tastes like. Man, that is delicious. I'll show it to you again. Man, that is a delicious cut of meat. Man, that is cooked perfectly. The fat is rendered down. It pretty much melts in your mouth. Extremely juicy, very flavorful. I only use salt and pepper and it still has tons of flavor. Oh, I forgot about the chimichurri. Don't even need the chimichurri, but we're gonna do it in the chimichurri. I'm sure it's even better than that. Now that's off the chain right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this along with some mashed potatoes. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Deuces.